The Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
And welcome back to our studios here in New York, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs. Pretty impressive first half by the Miami Dolphins. They lead it 21-6. What did you see out there, Joe?
Well, Greg, a very unusual tactic by Bill Arnsparger, who used to work, by the way, for Shula, is taking an unusual approach against Marino by playing a lot of man coverage and trying to play them tight. We're going to illustrate this here. You see 4 down linemen rush. That's normal. But here we circle the safety, and they're including this look a lot. They're bringing the safety and trying to play man coverage and keep a safety free in the middle of the field. Now here they kind of get away with it, okay? By bringing the safety, you're going to see him bat the ball. But as the half wore on, Marino started to get a lot of yards downfield against man coverage. But this is, I thought, was a technical way and very unusual way for Bill Arnsparger to approach this game. Now, we want to take a look also at what San Diego's doing. You see the safety at the top, the receiver at the top of the field, 2 tight ends and 2 backs. This is how they're rushing the ball. The safety stays back for Miami, and in this case, they're making a lot of yards with 2 tight ends. 122 yards rushing in the first half is a lot of yards. They're down points. But I'll bet you right now that Miami's got that on the board. They're going to try and do something with the 2 tight ends.
All right, Joe. And Mike, what you're looking at is that the Chargers are pretty much working out of a hole.
Well, the whole key to this game is field position. You hate to say it, but it's field position, and the Chargers have had lousy field position. Miami's had good field position, and they've taken advantage. The other key is Keith Jackson. They thought they could work with Keith Jackson in this football game. They're getting the ball to him. He's eating up man-to-man coverage. They cannot be. The other thing is Dan Marino, which we talked about before the game. In the second quarter alone, he's 11 for 13, 103 yards, 2 TDs. That's why they're winning the football game.
All right, thank you, Mike. Now, the winner of today's game has a date next Sunday in Pittsburgh at the AFC Championship. We will have it for you beginning at noon Eastern Time with NFL Live. That number 26 belongs to Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Rod Woodson, and he joins us now live from his home in Pittsburgh. Rod, thanks for joining us with his daughter Marika and his son Demetrius. First of all, there is no question yours is a confident team. It showed all during the game yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. Is that something that's been with you all season long, or is that the result of a 12-4 record during the regular season?
You know, I really think it's been with us all year. I think we went into the season, went into training camp, understanding that we had a good team, we had good talent, but you never know what's going to happen until the season starts. And we didn't play well our first 4 games, but after that we were consistent. We played well, and we had a lot of confidence going into the playoffs. Yeah,
it's hard to believe that this Pittsburgh team was 2-2 after 4 games, and then you kicked it into gear. Joe Gibbs is always talking about home field advantage. How much of that has been a factor for you this year? You guys have won 8 of 9 games at Three River Stadium this season.
I think it's very important. You have your crowd backing you. You're in your own backyard. You're comfortable there. It's a comfort zone. I think we play a lot better at home. For whatever reason that is, we do. And it's one of those things that we have home field advantage this year, and we need to take advantage of that.
A member of the 75th anniversary all-time team in the NFL while you're still active is a pretty good honor. Do you think perhaps maybe that served as a little bulletin board material for some teams this year?
Well, I think it made some of the receivers throughout the league go out there and want to have the big games against me week in and week out. And I had to understand that I had to go out there and be consistent for 16 games. And early in the year, I wasn't. And then I finally, at the end of about the 6th or 7th game throughout the year, I started playing better. And now I'm playing the way I'm capable of playing.
I know you want and you're going to get a warm weather team, whoever wins this game. Do you really care who wins as a defensive back? I know you're probably a little more wary of Dan Marino.
Well, Danny's a great quarterback. They came up here this year, and they gave us a great game. We won the game in overtime. So if they play like they are, continue to play like they are right now in the first half, they're going to win the game, and we'll meet them next week. And it will be a hard-fought game.
All right, Rob, we wish you luck. And your kids are too well-behaved. We should introduce you to Boomer Esiason's kid.
Well, I told them they get a treat if they behave, and so they get a treat today.
Thanks, Rod. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Up next, we'll bring you the national finals of the Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick Finals feature the first girl to make it that far. We'll get to that right after this from your local station.
The NFL Live Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back, everyone. The national finals of the punt, pass, and kick competition was held earlier today at Jack Murphy Stadium. Much of the attention focused on the 12-year-old division, where one of the 4 finalists was Kendra Wecker, the first girl to reach the national finals. Early this morning, outside their San Diego hotel, there was one last chance to throw with Dad, Kendra with Father Randy. This would be her competition in the 12-year-old category. Wearing Joe Montana's number 19, Kendra herself quarterbacks the Mad Dogs in the Marysville, Kansas Co-ed Flag Football League. And available for last-second tips, Jim Kelly, a former punt, pass, and kick champion.
She's outperformed our wildest expectations already, and she's still going to be Kendra to us, win, lose, or draw. So we're just tickled to death that she's gotten as far as she has.
The competition opened with the punt. Officials measured distance and accuracy, and this opening effort was disappointing on both counts.
That's too bad.
Frustrated, Kendra's punt left her in 3rd place with 2 segments to go. Colorado's Matt Sutton, a national champion last year, would take the early lead with his punt. The kick was next. Kendra had distance, but her attempt drifted left, costing her points for accuracy. Florida's Eric Resta smashed the best kick and put himself in a virtual tie for first with Matt Sutton, as witnessed by Dad, Charles Resta. But Kendra, who holds a national record for the softball throw, saved her best for last. And with that throw, took the lead.
I don't even want to throw against her.
Kendra's lead was short-lived, however. Resta secured the 12-year-old title with that toss.
They've done their best. You can't expect any more.
At first, I was like, oh no, if I lose, and my friends are going to go nuts on me and get beaten by a girl. But I didn't think about that.
I knew that kid was better than I was when we were in practice. And I just went out there and just threw and punt and kicked as hard as I could.
Our congratulations to Kendra and to all of the competitors. We'll show you all of the age group champions between the 3rd and 4th quarters of the Miami-San Diego game. Earlier today in the NFC playoff battle, the Dallas Cowboys easily over Green Bay 35-9. The Cowboys will meet San Francisco in the NFC Championship. Indicative of how things were for the Packers, they had the Cowboys backed up to the 6-yard line. Aikman comes out throwing. This is the longest touchdown pass play in postseason history, 96 yards to Alvin Harper. Cowboys win it easily after the game. Jim Gray talked with Dallas's Charles Haley.
Charles, you guys had your way against the Green Bay Packers this week. A lot of people had said that, hey, the Cowboys were dead. Did that antagonize and bother you guys?
No, you know, we have to search within ourselves. You know, that was the big key to this, you know, this week, this whole preparation this week, is that we can't let the outside dictate to us. We know what we're all about. We play Dallas Cowboys football. We play consistency, and we play as a team. As long as we do that, we know we can overcome any elements.
Charles, let me ask you about the 49ers playing against your former teammates. There is no love lost between you and your former teammates. How about the 49ers? They played very well in winning earlier this season against you.
Well, hey, the thing is this. We're coming in town. We'll have all our guns and stuff loaded, and we're going to come and we'll shoot every bullet we got. We're going after them. We're not going to play timid at all. We're coming in there to play football, and if we win, we win. We lose, we lose. But we're going to give it 100% when we get up in there.
Can they be stopped? They've played so well.
Everybody can be stopped, and I can promise you this. They got some doubt in their mind about the Dallas Cowboys, too.
Charles Haley and the Cowboys and the Niners will meet in the NFC title game for the 3rd straight year. In our game, the Miami Dolphins lead San Diego 21-6. We'll send you back to San Diego to rejoin Dick Enberg and Bob Trumpy for the 2nd half right after these words from your local station.
And on San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium, and the Chargers will get the ball to open the second half as Stoyanovich tees it up. Andre Coleman at the other end. At the 7. Young man from Kansas State. Can't find an opening to the 28-yard line as we check the Coors Light halftime statistics. And there'll be a lot of big numbers here. Both teams over 200 total yards. Dolphins, almost all of it in the air. And the Chargers pounding away on the ground.
Yeah, the Chargers have 123 yards rushing the football in the first half, but I don't know what happened to them inside the 10. They had 8 snaps inside the 10, Dick, and got 6 points. I mean, they just abandoned the running game for some reason, and I don't think that was a very intelligent thing to do. It's also a bad message to the rest of the San Diego Chargers. We think we got to finesse them down on the goal line.
Well, this first possession of the second half is so critical for San Diego. Means plows for about 6. Let's go down to John Dockery.
You know, Dick, Bobby Ross said the same thing. He said, we can move the ball on offense here. We just have to make a bigger plays. But he was more concerned about the defense. He was very direct and very forthright. He said, hey, we're going to play more man-to-man. We're going to blitz. We got to get to Marino and get him out of the zone. Don Shula on the other side of the ball. I said, what about the first half, Coach? Hey, there was one word, Marino. He's making every right decision. Back to you, Dick.
Okay, Doc. Second down and 4. Humphries underneath to Harmon. Tackled at the 40. First down, San Diego. Let's check the 2 quarterbacks, Marino and Humphries.
And Dick, remember the game started with a lot of contact on Marino, but 17 of 24 for 3 touchdowns. And Stan Humphries just 8 of 17. He's not been able to get the ball down the field. The 1 interception, that at the end of the half.
Keith Jackson, 6 catches, 2 for score. Sean Jefferson leading San Diego with the 2 somewhat meaningless grabs. First down at the 40 for Humphries. Into the flat, Means. Whoa! Cox trying to take his head off. And Means just ducks under it and gains 5.
Well, that time you saw Brian Cox at least stick his arms out there to try to make the tackle. The little swing pass to Means. Well thrown by Stan Humphries, but Means not tall. Brian Cox almost goes over the top of it.
The hidden head trick by Natrone.
What an athlete. Both. Pick one. You could start a franchise with either one of them, Means or Brian Cox.
The enemy now in the backfield. The enemy gets the call. Flag down. The enemy into Miami territory with a first down if Aubrey Beavers makes the tackle. Holding San Diego.
Yeah, when the referee throws the flag and it's not a pass, you know it's holding. And Johnny Greer threw the flag.
Holding, 53, offense, still second down.
Courtney Hall, the center, regarded as the leader of that offensive line for the Chargers.
Here's Courtney Hall. He's got Klingbeil on his nose. Oh, he kind of grabs a hold of it. I don't know. He kind of stuck his arm up around Klingbeil's leg. Chuck ran right through it.
Kind of a mystery hold there. Rodney Culver makes his first appearance, rarely used. Humphries to Culver, skips out of 1 tackle, and he's on his way to the 45 of Miami. Good running by Culver. They had him for a short gain and kicked free for an 18-yard pickup.
San Diego comes with, Miami comes with a blitz. Culver avoids Brian Cox. Solomon should make the tackle, no question about that, but a missed tackle, and that's been something that's hurt Miami last couple of 3 weeks. Again, Cox, he runs the game. Culver slips right by him, and then nice pickup. San Diego, you're right, Dick. This drive means the game. We're in it or we're home.
Stepped out at the 47. Swing it the other way to Means. And Means bumped out by Michael Stewart at the 42-yard line, a gain of 5. Boy, that's almost unfair to give Means a running start with a ball, lead him like that right into a defensive back.
And not what defensive backs dream sweet dreams about. They're more nightmares.
So Means has contributed over 100 yards total, 85 rushing and 16 on 3 catches. 101 days so far for Means. 12 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Humphries, a lot of time, finally dumps it off. And it's Alfred Papunu, short yards, and perhaps just did get to the line of scrimmage. Stan Humphries has gone through a painful season, injured hip, a sprained ankle, a sprained knee, and a dislocated left elbow being the most serious, and he's still wearing a brace on that elbow that was dislocated mid-year.
Yeah, upper arm, this is where the lower arm goes. He said, I'm not comfortable with it, but when he first got it, he couldn't really hold the ball where he normally does just before he threw it, so he was a little rusty there for a while.
Big 3rd and 5, and Humphries has converted only one today. He guns it wide open to Seay. Mark Seay inside the 30. Cox made the tackle. 14-yard play.
Dick, I sensed that Boss Ross at halftime probably put some teeth marks on some folks, because the offense here is a lot crisper. They're running more precise patterns. Protection is a little better for Stan Humphries. It's just a darn shame that it took him so long to get the wake-up call here. And Tom Olivadati on the side here. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Who's got that man in coverage?
Means, boy, you can hear those blockers popping pads, and it took half the defense to finally drag down Means. The last man there was Cox.
Dick, for a young guy, Means is only 22 years old. Watch the patience he has here. He allows the guard and tackle to get out in front of him. See the little skip steps? Finds the little slot, the little crack, the little seam, gets up through there. Runs through the tackle of Brian Cox. Very gifted runner. Been 240 pounds since he was a sophomore in college, so knows how to carry that weight.
Means met in the hole. Fine hit by veteran Craig Vesey, who wants very much to go on next Sunday because he would then face his former teammates, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They kind of alternate the defensive tackles here for Miami. Here's Vesey right here, does an excellent job of getting around the block. They try to double team him with the center and the guard, fights through both and makes the tackle.
Another 3rd and long for Humphries, and Ronnie Harmon comes in. He's flanked out to the left. Good drive for Humphries. He needs another good throw.
Harmon
goes long, wide open is Harmon. Broken up at the last minute by Gene Atkins. What a play by Atkins. Got there just in time.
He played it beautifully.
That looked to be a perfectly timed throw by Humphries as Harmon broke clear.
That was the out and up. And that's what Keith Jackson scored on for Miami. So San Diego said, all right, we'll try it. Now on 4th down and 7.
Now this is where that touchdown by Marino at the end of the half changed the course of the game. To go 14-6, they go for the field goal here. Over the middle, complete to Seay. And he's inside the 10.
Now this is where it gets dangerous for San Diego. We're going to go back to the Ronnie Harmon missed reception. You see the out and up. Gene Atkins does an excellent job. Just gets his head around to knock this ball away at the last possible second. Then the choice on 4th down. Seay runs the delay inside. Good protection. Nice pickup.
1st and goal from the 9. Means maybe a yard. Tim Bowens, that 317-pound rookie from Mississippi, who was named the NFL's top defensive rookie, on that tackle.
Excuse me. Here's the situation now. You normally have your 5 or 6 best goal line plays printed out on computer. You've decided on Tuesday or Wednesday what you're going to do. And it certainly appears there's Ralph Friesen, the offensive coordinator. Their choice to this point has been to finesse Miami in this situation. It has not worked.
Another long drive, time consuming, but no points yet. Papunu, no, not there. Covered well by Brian Cox.
Well, deja vu all over again.
Aubrey Beavers, check it, was the man who took Papunu. And it just appeared at the start of that play, the Humphries' body language was saying, I'm not quite sure what you want here.
Well, certainly when you've had 8 snaps in the first half inside the 10-yard line and get just 2 field goals, you'd certainly think to start the second half there's got to be something that they can do.
This allows Don Shula to send in his dollar defense, 7 DBs. Marco Coleman getting a breather. Ronnie Harmon, the only back. They screen it to Harmon. Can't get in. Down at the 1. Oh, my. The pressure on Bobby Ross.
Yeah,
he's got to go for it.
Absolutely. Rocket hit goes in, number 34. Steve Hendrickson.
Could be the game if Miami can stop them here on 4th and goal at the 1. Humphries, who has led this drive with 8 completions. He had only 8 the whole first half. Means with Hendrickson in front of him. Means going to get outside. Is he in? No, they stopped him just shy. Miami, look at him come off the bench.
Dick, watch Coleman. Number 90 for Miami. First of all, Webster makes him go outside a little deeper. Coleman, 90, makes the hit. Really make this play. Webster, 79, keeps Means going outside. Coleman makes the hit, but he loses control of the football. And does it hit the ground before it hits the cone?
Well, it doesn't matter. It hit the pylon. The pylon is part of the end zone, and then that should be a touchback for Miami. Not so ruled. Dolphins will start at the 1-yard line. It would appear they should start at the 20, hitting the backfield. That's going to be a safety if he didn't get out. No, they're going to mark it just out of the end zone.
How do you do that? Parmalee, you can see him lying on the ground.
Now they say safety.
Yes.
The linesman across the way was marking it in the field of play. Reuben Davis threw his 320 pounds into the center. And finally, the Chargers get something out of being inside the 20.
Davis is able to stand up. Dellenbach, yeah, there's no question. The same rules apply to a ball coming out of the end zone as going in the end zone. It's the outside line of the goal line. So that was, in fact, the safety. 2 points, and San Diego will get the ball back.
So it's 21-8, and the free kick by the Dolphins from their own 20-yard line.
Some momentum. Some momentum.
Ruby Doobie Davis from North Carolina. He and Sean Lee are now playing side by side in that defensive line. Both drafted in '88 by Tampa Bay, and now happy teammates in San Diego. And the weather storm, sunshiny Sunday with heavy rains forecast for the next 3 days in Southern California. And the Thunderbolts of San Diego. Reuben Davis tackling Parmalee for a safety to make it 21-8. And they're really icing Marino. 6:54 left in the third. He still has yet to get on the field, and now San Diego gets it on the free kick punt. Andre Coleman to the 45-yard line. We'll take a break here at 6:45 in the third. San Diego back with the ball. All trailing 21-8, have had 4 very long drives, keeping the ball away from Marino, but not productive. Only 6 points out of those drives, but they get 2 on the safety. Just back on clarification, Jerry Seaman, the head of officials in the NFL, pointing out that on 4th down, you can't fumble forward down inside the 10-yard line, and so the ball was marked where he fumbled it at the 1, and had that been a 3rd down play at the pylon, it would have been a touchback. Rodney Culver not used that often as the setback. And the former Colt gets only a yard at that before Michael Stewart comes up from safety. Culver carried the ball only 8 times all season. It makes you wonder why Means isn't in there.
This is the counter play run by San Diego. Davis 73 pulls, but Stewart goes outside the blocking. And this is a critical series now for the Miami defense. They just faced a 15-play drive, took one play off, and they're now back out there on the football field.
Culver and Harmon, with Harmon slotted right. Draw to Culver, and he only gets a couple more. Flag down at the end of the play. Marco Coleman made the tackle, assisted by Larry Webster. Johnny Greer, one of the NFL's best.
Face mask, number 90, defense. 5 yards, repeat second down.
5 yards is the inadvertent face mask. Yeah, he does. Whoa, wait a minute. That's a pretty strong tug there. And they just give him the 5 yards, but he was putting a little pressure on that.
Second down and 2 for San Diego at the Miami 46.5. Means still on the sidelines. Second and short. Humphries hit from behind and down at the 48. Boy, that Marco Coleman has had a game. Coleman gets the sack again.
He's on Harry Swain, the offensive left tackle. Coleman, who played for Bobby Ross at Georgia Tech. Here it should be coming right at you. Coleman has probably improved more than anybody on that defensive line. Nice. Set him up to the outside, comes back to the inside, makes the sack.
Yeah, that Coleman clan used to working well on Sunday in the Dayton, Ohio area. His dad's a Baptist minister. Third down and 8. Humphries to the sidelines. Good catch. Sean Jefferson with a first down. Tough play. Oh, we have seen some outstanding receptions on both sides.
Now, when he needs it, Stan Humphries has got a strong arm, and this is certainly an example of that. This is a long, deep out. And Jefferson comes back for the football. Frankie Smith, 29, is the man in coverage. Certainly enough for the first down. Well done. Boy, there's life in the Chargers.
Time called here with 5 minutes exactly left in the third quarter, and the Miami Dolphins yet to get the ball on offense but for one play, and that was the safety Parmalee tackled in his own end zone. We can only speculate as to what this conference is all about. Was he down by contact? Perhaps was the reason for it. It appeared that Smith did make contact as he made the dive on Jefferson.
It was just kind of a touch of the sock, but there was contact.
We have a first down. There was no down by contact on the initial player.
Another big plus for Sean Jefferson there.
Let's see, this will be a better angle.
Watch the arm. Well, maybe he did just swipe by his leg and not touch him, but knowing that you can get up in the NFL, it turns it into a first down for San Diego.
At the Miami 35-yard line. Humphries missing on only one throw in the second half. All this with Means on the bench. Culver. Rodney Culver to the 30. Gain of 5 before Aubrey Beavers can make the stop. Culver released by the Indianapolis Colts this year and signed by San Diego as a backup. One of the world's most enduring symbols, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California, been providing these beautiful aerial shots so many years. 1995, in fact, marks the 70th consecutive year that a Goodyear Blimp has flown over a major sporting event. What a day to be up there above beautiful San Diego. Means returns. I guess you could say Humphries is the Ways and Natrone is the Means.
Definitely the Means.
Meanwhile, Dan Marino said, when's my turn?
Yeah, come on. Gentlemen, they pay me a lot of money to play, not watch.
Like a cat out there in the San Diego Zoo. Marino encaged on that far sidelines. Pacing.
Give me a chance. Come on, defense.
We're going to. Well, it's always nice to see some of the Former announcers pictured here.
I wondered who you were going to say.
Well, our boss is here. I had to be careful. That's shy of a first down. Now, the safety changes the mathematics of this game in an interesting way. Just thinking ahead, should San Diego have to face field goal again, then Ross could say, well, 3 more makes it 21-11. That's back onto a touchdown field goal, 10-point game.
But I think he's kind of got a roll going here with the safety and the 2 points and now the ball possession. This again is 4-down area.
So Hendrickson comes in as the blocking back in front of Means. Means over the top for the first down.
Now, well, Dick, there were 2 instances in the first half where that play would have scored in the goal line. Touchdown, not field goal.
But it wouldn't have been against that exact defense, would it?
Now, don't, Dick, I'm trying to make a point here. Come on.
Forget I said it, though.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
Okay. Next time they get down inside the 5-yard, I would suggest that play.
Justifies the means, and means would justify the end. 94 yards for him today. Less than 3 minutes left in the third. Means again. Got a blocker. He slashes, carries, dives, touchdown! Oh my! That is a football run. 24 yards.
Dick, I think there's still some discussion as to whether or not he got in the end zone. Touchdown.
And signal touchdown right on the goal line, and so it is confirmed.
It's the counter. Davis and Jonathan, 74. Watch Means stay with it. First contact made. J.B. Brown, again, poor tackling by Miami. Last couple of 3 weeks, it's cost them again a player not wrapping up a ball carrier, and he's allowed to get in the end zone. That is an all-pro play right there. Whoa, his foot is out of bounds. Oh, his foot is out of bounds.
It should have been marked at the 1. Carney for the extra point.
Dick, his foot is way out of bounds. Next step.
Actually, the 2-yard line. The official that called the touchdown now really wiped out by Means, who took care of most everyone on the field. This crowd on its feet celebrating the 9-point drive for San Diego. Safety, free kick, and then Natrone Means taking over. He had 35 yards of that drive, even though Miami will argue that he was a couple yards shy of the 35. Carney to McDuffie. Nice move by McDuffie, bumped out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Let's go back to the Means questionable touchdown.
There's no J.B. Brown is hanging on to him. That's Solomon that hits him. And there's the right foot out of bounds. And with the Chargers' inability to get the ball in, 1st and goal from the 2. I mean, that's why Miami's complaining so much. And the complaints are led by Tom Olivadotti when he saw it on the big board. That wasn't even close. What did they used to call that? Instant replay?
This is a Goodyear.
Finally getting the chance to play on offense in this 3rd quarter. Defense on the field. Some 12 minutes of the 3rd. 2:34 left in the period. Marino from his own 31. Finds an open man. First down. O.J. McDuffie. First pass in almost an hour thrown by Dan Marino.
And man, can he silence a crowd. On the road. Been a long time since a guy silences a crowd like Dan Marino.
33 seconds. Miami's had the ball here in this quarter.
Well, these two units certainly fresh. Miami offense, San Diego defense.
First down at the 44. Marino gets it off to Jackson, and Jackson chopped down by Darian Gordon just shy of midfield. O'Neal almost got to Marino that time.
Jackson obviously been a big receiver today in the game plan. Watching the ball snap releases, former buddies down in Little Rock, Arkansas, just kind of hangs around Leslie O'Neal there, and then Marino somehow gets him the ball. Pressure all over Marino. He's still able to make the completion.
Yes, O'Neal and Keith Jackson were members of the Sunset Tigers in Little Rock as 8- and 9-year-olds. Rare run. They've not been able to move the ball well on the ground, and they're shy of the first down with Parmalee carrying to the 49-yard line. O'Neal makes the stop along with Dwayne Harper.
A nice little delay run here by Miami. You're going to see the guard pull. Widener gets out in front. Excellent job also of blocking by James Saxon. But San Diego's defense, this is the biggest third down so far today, Dick.
That's where Marino has been so tough to stop. He was 4 for 5 on third downs in the first half. 4 wide receivers. Batted down. John Perella picked up when released by the Buffalo Bills. A flag is down. And Miami will get a first. No, it's against the Dolphins. The way the Charger bench jumped up, I think they thought they were called for an illegal shot. Bobby Ross was about to leap out to the hash mark.
Perella makes the, he gets his hand in the air. He is an unlikely hero.
Illegal hand to the face. Number 69, offense is declined. 4th down.
Keith Sims, the left guard.
He hasn't made many mistakes in his professional career. Here's Sims right here. It's on Perella too. Perella, I mean, Sims pushes him into the spot where he knocks the ball out of the air.
John Kidd, tremendously high kick that Gordon signals fair catch at the 10-yard line. 38-yard punt. There's a flag down at the 50.
Oh.
So the Chargers undoubtedly, rather than start at the 10, will let Kidd have another chance.
Sure.
Kidd was released after some 4 years with San Diego this year as they signed Brian Wagner, and Kidd was around for several weeks trying out, and then he finally
Holding 85. Offense will penalize 10 yards and re-kick.
Ronnie Williams, and Kidd then finally replaced veteran Jim Arnold, who was cut by Shula.
Yeah, they have to punt again, and they punt to Darian Gordon, one of the game's best punt returners. So another advantage here for San Diego.
In fact, the Chargers had the best AFC punt return record, led by Gordon's 13.2-yard average, 2 touchdowns. The return is on. Another great kid who lives in Del Mar, inspired by the chance to come home, and this one goes into the end zone. So it amounts to a 10-yard penalty against Miami, as San Diego will start from the 20 instead of from the 10-yard line. Well, with the professional football season growing toward the Super Bowl, basketball is with us, and we have an NBA doubleheader for you 2 weeks from today. First, the defending NBA champions, Elijah Wan and company, the Rockets against Scottie Pippen and the Bulls, followed by a dream matchup when Shaq and the Magic meet Barkley and the Suns. Coverage begins, NBA showtime, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 here in the West on Sunday, January 22nd, the week before the Super Bowl. 4 seconds left in the quarter. as Humphries trailing by 6. Hands off to Culver. And Rodney Culver gets only a yard. The end of 3. Miami 21, Chargers 15. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. The NFL Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick National Finals. Out of the hundreds of thousands who competed, 8 are champions. Let's go to public address announcer Bruce Binkowski.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the 10-yard line at the west end zone, where Neil Austrian, president of the National Football League, Bill Schmidt, vice president of Gatorade Company, and Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills will present awards to the NFL Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick National Champions. Thanks go to Sears, Wilson Sporting Goods, NBC Sports, Brock's, and Logo 7 for their co-sponsorship of the program. Here are your 1994 NFL Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick National Champions. The 8-year-old champion from Normal, Illinois, representing the Chicago Bears, Eric Phillips. The 9-year-old champion from Cahokia, Missouri, representing the Kansas City Chiefs, Brett Kavanaugh. The 10-year-old champion from Lubbock, Texas, representing the Dallas Cowboys, Lee Noble. The 11-year-old champion from Vanna, Colorado, representing the Denver Broncos, Toby Kechter. The 12-year-old champion from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, representing the Miami Dolphins, Eric Resta. The 13-year-old champion from New York City, representing the New York Giants, Justin Sacchio. The 14-year-old champion from Longview, Texas, representing the Dallas Cowboys, William Morrison. The 15-year-old champion from Greenwood, Indiana, representing the Indianapolis Colts, Bobby Kay. And a special acknowledgement to the first female finalist, 12-year-old Kendra Recker from Marysville, Kansas. The NFL and Gatorade offer thanks to all participants and to the thousands of volunteers nationwide who assisted with the program. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1994 NFL Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick National Champions.
And congratulations to the champions and all the competitors from us at NBC Sports. We go to the 4th quarter. Miami or San Diego? Which team will make plans for the Pittsburgh Steelers next Sunday? We open at the 21-yard line. San Diego 2nd and 9. In that 3rd quarter, Miami had the ball for only 4 plays, 21 yards. San Diego 24 plays, 126 yards. Humphries underneath the Harmon. Tackled at the 26, a 5-yard gain. Jesse Solomon and Michael Stewart. It'll be 3rd and 4.
This is the young man, Ronnie Harmon, who creates lots of problems for lots of defenses. Miami's choice here is zone. Humphries hits him. Excellent job there by the linebacker, just making sure he has no out to run. We'll give him the 5 or 6 yards. Got to slow San Diego down here.
3 wideouts, Jefferson, Martin, and Seay. Seay in motion. And then they give to Harmon. They crossed up Miami and had the first down. They gave them that pass look and hand off to Harmon.
That's right. And when Miami goes with the nickel package, there's one less linebacker in there to make the tackle. You see the 4-man front. Davis does a good job of kicking out, but they're all defensive backs there. So it's kind of it's a real problem for Miami to match up personnel right when Ronnie Harmon is in there.
We call that regular Ronnie.
Regular Ronnie. Now the first half it was irregular Ronnie. Now they're getting regular Ronnie functioning here.
Rodney Culver. And the Dolphins stack him up after a short gain. Marco Coleman again and Brian Cox. Boy, that Coleman has played some games.
Yes, he has. I think he's trying to show off for his former head coach, Bobby Ross, a guy he likes a great deal, and Bobby Ross has great things to say about Marco Coleman.
They thought they could run to that side, to Coleman's side, who's, you know, the lighter of those defensive linemen, more of that stand-up defensive end than a power guy. 2nd and 8. Culver again. It'll be 3rd and 4 and a late flag thrown. And it looks like face mask against Miami. That would give a first down.
Face mask, 53, defense, 5 yards, replay the second down.
Dick, when you looked at Don Shula, I think he's beginning to see a fatigued defense now. 53 Beavers. And he gets a hint. I couldn't really pick it out there, but nevertheless, the 5 yards. But that opening drive of the second half by San Diego, 15 plays, they don't score. Put the defense back out there on the field again. They do score.
You get the safety. Perhaps the key play in this entire game for San Diego was the safety. Penalty takes it out to the 41 and the first down.
And Dick, to think as poorly as San Diego played in the first half, the missed opportunities to be 6 down.
Well, but they didn't play poorly. They just didn't score.
Well,
they gained a lot of yards. They showed that they can move the ball.
They made poor choices.
All right.
Missed opportunities. And to be just 6 points down, darn lucky.
That's Culver. Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And this is an interesting move by Bobby Ross. Culver, just a sparing contributor throughout the regular season, suddenly playing a major role in this critical game to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, they've intermixed not only Culver but also Bieniemy. They've had Ronnie Harmon in the backfield trying to keep everybody fresh. This is a team that is a power football team that's won a lot of games in the fourth quarter. Maybe keeping Means fresh for this part of the game is exactly what Bobby Ross's plan was.
He's in there on 2nd and 5. Oh, he got 3 yards out of nothing there,
yeah.
close to the 50. It'll be 3rd and a short 2. Time of possession, second half.
San Diego played the third quarter. That's absolutely amazing.
Bobby Ross couldn't have scripted it better to keep it out of Marino's hands.
You're right. Now, what we have to look for here is the beginning of poor tackling by Miami. That's where that fatigue begins to show. Broken tackles by Means and other San Diego Chargers.
Means needs just 2 more yards for 100. Flag down, and Means stopped short of the first down. Good defensive pursuit by the Dolphins. Running well to the ball and led by number 95, Tim Bowens, the rookie.
Yeah, they were also running at Coleman, but Bowens appears he's the one that got held, Dick.
Now, Cox is saying, you want me to decline it? It's 4th and 1.
No, I think they go for it 4th and 1.
Yeah,
they're declining.
Shula says, make him play.
Holding 72. Offense is declined. 4th down.
Oh, Bobby Ross told us yesterday, he said, I'm going to have to take some chances on 4th and short, but not this time. He said basically defined it by inside the 50. Well, they're a ball shy, length shy of that spot. He figures now in a 6-point game, try to pin Marino deep. Wagner sends it high. Fair catch, McDuffie at the 15-yard line. So Dan Marino will take the field with less than 11 to go on the 4. The Dolphins happy to be able to get some extra air. Marino starts at his own 14-yard line. He's been sacked once, hurried 3 times, 3 deflections, and 5 knockdowns, but he's been good on 19 of 27, 3 touchdowns today. Comes out firing to the 20-yard line. O.J. McDuffie, who has been a prime target underneath. That's his 4th catch. Harper and Seay with the stop.
Again, now this Miami offense inside the 40-yard line here, very conservative. They're more than happy to take the quick slants. They don't want the turnover here. Gary Stevens, the quarterback coach, Bernie Kosar on the sideline, Dan Marino. I don't know what they're doing in situations like this. Just make sure of the completion.
Second and 4. Again, another short pass to Parmalee. That looks to be good enough for a first down at the 25. His first catch. Seay and Gibson with the tackle. San Diego Chargers, third in the league in '92 when they went to the playoffs, and it dropped down to 32, and then this year back to third in the league.
And they could use a sack here, but the offense that Miami's using right here, you see a 1 sack, very short. Short drop, Marino setting, looking only at one receiver, reading the defense correctly. That's why he doesn't get sacked that much.
The chain gang is got second down back at the 20, and they made what appeared to be a first down at the 25, and so the linesman calling time. Should be first and 10. I would think at the 25 they already marked a first down.
Yeah, the officials have on their hand generally a rubber band that signifies what down it is. See that the one guy there had it over his first finger. That signifies first down. And when in doubt, Johnny Greer doesn't have one on his hand. There, the guy on the left hand of the guy, one rubber band around the finger. To help you can get dinged, hit, and an official and be
kind of the system you use to get home, isn't it? Boy, it really gets confusing when you get down to that between 3 and 4.
I have to stop and think for a moment.
9:28 left. Parmalee trying to get outside. Only a couple there, and this crowd screaming with all the hopes of an entire season on the line, and a flag is down.
Holding Miami.
Holding. 88 offense.
Keith Jackson
Still first down.
has 2 of the 3 touchdowns. Miami, normally one of the least penalized in the league. They were more guilty this year than in most seasons. Yeah, he kind of tackles Wesley O'Neal. And that's such a critical block because it's on the point of attack.
Yeah, it's hard to hook that defensive end, and that's what Keith Jackson was trying to do, so Parmalee could get outside. As you see how penalties have increased a little bit for Miami over the years. Jackson.
Wide open. And he fumbles the ball. And it's recovered by San Diego.
It looked like he threw it.
Down.
Yeah. He threw that ball. Why, I don't know.
Now, they may say down. The officials threw flags and caps at the spot where Jackson went down.
He's trying to lateral that to a receiver out on the sideline.
Forward lateral is a live ball, the same as a fumble. Ball should be San Diego's at the 40 if that's what this discussion is about.
What in the world was going through Keith Jackson's head?
We have an illegal forward pass by number 88 offense. When the ball hit the ground, it became an incomplete pass. We'll penalize 5 yards, and it's still Miami ball.
How is that different than a fumble? What?
I agree with you totally. Look, he's right here on the 30-yard line. You're going to see where the ball goes forward, and he's trying to get it to this guy out here. How can that not be ruled a fumble? I agree with you.
It's got to be a fumble. Boy, that is a weird call. What? With a whole season on the line. That's the same as if you're tackled and you give up the ball. How is that any different?
Sure, no question. It only cost them 5 yards, and they keep the ball, and it's from the end of the reception.
Oh, my.
So it's a win-win-win for Miami.
So why not do that every play? Just keep throwing the ball forward whenever in doubt. You know, that's just every time you're going to be tackled, just throw it forward, and you only get maybe a 5-yard penalty. They've got to think this one over. This can't be right.
Yeah, Jerry Seaman is here. There is an NFL observer here, and he is the top dog. Jerry Seaman.
Top man.
Top man.
Boss Ross. And that official, Johnny Greer, is looking into the eyes of a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army, a company commander of a tank division, who wants to know how in the world can that be.
Now the Chargers got a break on Means' touchdown. His foot was out of bounds. You hate for him to pay this way.
But if that is the proper call interpretation, it just seems to open up such an incredible can of worms. Why would you have a ruling in the book that rewards a team for throwing the ball forward when tackled?
And what was in the head of Keith Jackson to even try it?
Meanwhile, there's 8:43 left. Miami leads by 6. At the moment, Miami has the ball at its own 30. Unless there's an overrule here, then San Diego would get it at the 40. There's Jerry Seaman, head of officials. And since he's here, we should get somebody to him, and I'd like it if John Dockery will go.
Illegal ball pass carries a loss of down. It's second down.
Still.
They still get it out at the 30-yard line.
I have a feeling, though, if the official keeps going over to Bobby Ross, the way this is working, there's going to be more and more and more for Miami to pay.
So it'd be 2nd and 5 from the spot where they have placed it at the 30. The loss of down, it was going to be. So that what they've said is that's a first down. He made the first down, and then it's like that forward pass makes it second down because it was a legal forward pass.
Dick, you're beyond me. I don't.
Boy, this is going to be one they chew, but they're going to really be chewing this one up tomorrow. Marino. And a rare incomplete pass, although Dennis Gibson came up with the ball.
Watch Junior Seay. As the motion comes, he's free to blitz. Picked up by Heller. But you're right. Whoa. Dellenbach gets him on his back, but a rare bad throw by Dan Marino.
3rd and 5. Some of the old-time fans in San Diego remember another call that hurt them, the holy roller call. The Raiders slickered the Chargers at the end of the game. Stabler and
Banasak and Casper.
3rd and 5, a full rush on and a great catch, but it's shy of the first down. Irving Fryer in a crowd with Dwayne Harper on his back makes the catch at the 34, where it'll be 4th down and 1.
Well, they tried to get this thing to the first down marker.
And you saw a punt. Shula wasting no time there. You know, aside from all the things that is going on immediately, Don Shula, as you look into the face of this legend, who is the winningest coach in the history of the National Football League, a win today would give him 20 playoff wins and tie him for that mark too with Tom Landry. And Bobby Beathard, who worked for Shula for several years as the director of player personnel, as they measure it, seemingly is a good distance from a first down, and is.
Bobby Beathard.
Bobby Beathard said, the thing that I learned most from Shula and what I admire most about him is always positive. No matter what the condition, positive.
I even said when the year that Bob Greasy broke his ankle, they went in at halftime, and if you didn't know Greasy had broken his ankle, Shula State made no mention of it. There's Bobby Beathard, one of the kings of personnel in the NFL.
8:17 left, and Kidd to punt. Gordon back at the 25. So that controversial play at the moment is without meaning, and a fair catch called by Gordon. He had a lot of room to run, but played it safe at the 20. 47-yard punt.
Playoff
flashback, San Diego, Miami. Remember 81? Miami trailed 24-0, but the famed hook and lateral. Harris to Nathan made it 24-17 at halftime. But led by a superhuman performance by Kellen Winslow, the Chargers, and a game-winning field goal by Rolf Bernurschke in overtime. The Chargers outlasted the Dolphins 41-38 in a playoff classic, voted the top game of the 1980s. Well, they were trailing 24-0 in the first half, and the Chargers trailing 21-6 at the half today. Maybe Jackson, who's a historian of note, was thinking about his own forward.
No, please. No, not
well, maybe not then. The 20 means the lone running back. He picks up 7 on first down. J.B. Brown from the corner hit Means, where he got to correct his total. Means now has 129 yards.
How many carries does he have?
21.
I say 25 and they win. Good job by Papuno hooking Coleman. Beavers inside, J.B. Brown outside. That's a nice pickup. Now that's the way you use Natrone Means. You get him at those defensive backs. Soften them up.
Midpoint of the fourth quarter in San Diego, before the largest crowd in San Diego history. Means again. Driving for 5 and a first down at the 32. Means having a career game in this playoff. 134 yards rushing.
And before this one, he did an excellent. He had his personal best in Miami. Was it earlier? Was it last year he had his personal best? Yeah. So
yes.
He's topped it today.
And this is the top rushing game of anyone in the playoffs this year. Foster had 133 yesterday against Cleveland. Jerry Foster. Fake to Means. Down the middle, Tony Martin, who had his problems earlier in the year, dropped a couple of short big plays against the Rams and then has corrected it, and he has been hot the last month.
Of course, his mom, who lives down in Miami, Sarah, went to the grocery store with lightning bolts on this week, and there was almost a riot down there. So she's quietly sitting inside her house with the shades drawn, rooting for the San Diego Chargers.
Yes, Sarah, you bet she's cheering. First down after the 14-yard throw. 6:05 left. Humphries. Short to Mark Seay at the 50-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. Doc, have you been able to straighten out the puzzle of that call?
You know, Dick, I just talked to Jerry Seaman, head of officials, and he told me it was simply this. It's an illegal forward pass, and he compared it to a quarterback running beyond the line of scrimmage and throwing the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty, loss of down. You know, it's a very bizarre play, but he said it was called correctly by the officials. Illegal forward pass, loss of down, 5-yard penalty. Back to you, Dick.
Oh, I don't. That sounds like a cover. Down the middle, incomplete to tight end Dwayne Young. Well, there was no receivers ahead to throw to for Jackson, who is not a quarterback out of that field, and that's really a rare interpretation, but so it is.
That's the tight end down the middle here, almost able to make the completion. Can't quite stretch his arm out enough, Dwayne Young, to make that catch. But
well, that's
yeah,
taking a big bite.
That's what happens to tight ends. You know, they always got dirt in their face.
3rd and 5. Harmon in the backfield. Blitz. They pick up the blitz, deflected, and catches it. First down. Check it. It's Tony Martin at the 36-yard line. Oh, talk about bizarre. What are the odds on that one?
Yeah.
The ball was 25 feet in the air and deflected.
And Dick, if Miami doesn't blitz, there are people here to make the catch, the interception. But because they're committed to the line of scrimmage, Martin's really the only one that can make the catch.
Oh my. First down at the 37. 21-15.
Looked like off of the hand of Brian Cox.
He was the man, one of the many putting pressure on Humphries. A break for the Chargers. Clock is under 5 minutes. Means is back. Humphries pumps. He's going long. Jefferson. No, out of bounds. He only got 1 foot in. Oh, was that close?
Do we want to see this on replay? I'm asking you now.
We're going to see it.
A good pump fake by Stan Humphries. Ball is caught well by Jefferson.
One, two. Oops. Oops. Boy,
again,
the Charger fans see this one on the replay.
Control.
1 down, 2 down.
Oh.
Wonder what the excuse will be this time.
Oh, it just showed on the big screen.
That was a go-ahead touchdown denied. 2nd and 10. Well, it's a shame these officials have had a bad game today. Both ways. Humphries says somebody get open. There's Seay, broken up and intercepted by Stewart. Michael Stewart at the 24-yard line. So 1 minute, a touchdown that wasn't, and the next Miami gets it back.
This is intended to be a screen. What Natrone means is the screen man. It's not open, so Stan Humphries tries to improvise. He makes the big mistake. Late down the middle, Stewart picks it off.
But it was Troy Vincent who made the play, deflected the ball. 2 successive plays, an almost touchdown and then an interception. Here's the almost.
Controlling both feet in. Ball is the answer. Yeah, he caught it with 1 foot down and then got the other one in. That's a touchdown. Next
call.
play.
I mean, that happens.
Sure.
Boom, boom.
No question about that.
Michael Stewart off the deflection by Troy Vincent with the interception. And Marino comes out throwing, and he's going long. Too long for Irving Fryer. Well, this is a sensational athletic play by Vincent.
And Tony Martin is just an outlet. This is a screen designed to the other side of the field, and Vincent gets his hand up there. Stewart makes the interception. Dick, I've heard the arguments against instant replay, that in a 3-dimensional world, it's hard to call from a screen things that are 2-dimensional. But can you deny that there are instances where instant replay works perfectly?
Well, sometimes it did. Sometimes. On 2nd and 10. Marino takes the short route, and Dennis Gibson, who labored in Detroit for many years before coming here as a free agent, makes the tackle. Parmalee, the receiver.
If we go back to the interception, Humphries knows the mistake he made. The only thing he could do there was turn the ball over. Everything else was working fine. He just didn't throw it far enough inside, and Vincent made a heck of a play.
Big 3rd down now. 3rd and 7. 2 turnovers by Miami. No takeaways by San Diego. And if you that's one of the big statistics.
Blitz.
And he had to throw it away. Didn't have time to really find an open man as Chris Mims, as he started the game pressuring, Marino gets to him and hurries him.
You're going to see Seay out comes. You see a late guy come here. They put as much pressure on Marino as they possibly could. It's 29 Carrington coming. He had to get rid of it. Mims made him shorten his arm a little bit.
Aaron Carrington putting the pressure on. He says, boy, I want to win for my mom's 50th birthday watching in Atlanta. Kidd to punt. Another high kick. Gordon going to return this one. 26.
Reverse.
Yeah. Coleman. Oh, they've got it set up. 30. And a good play made on the far side by number 35. Michael Stewart, who just had the interception. Stewart on the special teams as well, denies the Chargers on a little razzle-dazzle on that punt return.
Great discipline by Stewart to stay there when the tendency is to go after the ball.
He's been desperate throughout this year, battling that ache of the Achilles, leading his team this far, leading by 6, but Humphries has the ball at the 39. 3:15 to go. Ronnie Harmon to the 49. It'll be close to a first down. J.B. Brown wraps him up.
Dick, I can tell you this Miami defense has faced an awful lot of plays in this second half. At some point, it's always more difficult. It's more fatiguing to play defense than it is offense because you have to pursue on defense. At some point, you wonder if this defense is just out of all of its collective energy.
That's a good point, Bob, too, and that the bye week allows that offense to put in
Absolutely.
some extra work. Means now the running back. 2nd and 1. Boy, he barely got the handoff and has the first down at the Miami 49. 2:27 left.
And Bowens made the tackle there. Would suggest running the corner. Now the 2 games, 6 interceptions, no touchdowns for Stan Humphries.
That counted. First down at the 49 as they approach the 2-minute timeout. Humphries pumping. Throws to the sidelines. Tony Martin came back to meet his quarterback. First down at the Miami 39 at the 2-minute timeout.
Oh, that's a big double. He catches it and for the first down.
Well, it's going to be close to a first down. It's right at the sticks.
Beat her down.
We'll be back 21-15. Crowd of 63,381 from the Goodyear Blimp Eagle providing these aerial pictures. Goodyear blimps travel over 100,000 miles every year covering major sporting events. It was a first down throw to Martin at just inside the Miami 39. Tackled immediately by Michael Stewart after a 6-yard gain.
And boy, Michael Stewart was right on him. Michael Stewart even cheated up to the line of scrimmage so he could have a better chance to cover Ronnie Harmon as San Diego goes right back to the line of scrimmage.
Half dozen catches for Harmon, 50 yards total. 2nd and 4. Incomplete. That stops the clock with 1:29 left. Pupunu, the target. Well, there are a couple of things going on here. One, for San Diego, should they score, if they score quickly, Marino gets his chance to bring Miami back.
The other thing they don't want is 1st and goal at the 5.
That was a problem.
Let's try from here, gentlemen.
3rd and 4. Humphries now has thrown 40. The ex-Dolphin has another catch in 15 yards.
And Humphries is looking to the sideline for the play call. I think Bobby Ross.
Clock is running.
I think Stan's already got these plays. They've practiced this and practiced this a lot.
They have all their timeouts left.
Harmon.
Knocked out of bounds at the 10. Stops the clock. 59 seconds left. The Chargers are 10 yards from taking the lead.
See, they had Solomon in coverage on Ronnie Harmon. And immediately, you got to look to Ronnie Harmon. Now, this was the play 2 plays ago. That's the slant. And then the good release here by Martin. Good speed. Troy Vincent, too soft in coverage. Stewart has to make the stop.
It's 2nd down and about a yard and a half. Harmon to the 8-yard line. Be close to a measurement.
There we go again.
A reminder, as this game has gone into prime time for those of you watching in the East, a reminder that after the game, most of these stations, an all-new Earth 2 and then an all-new Sequest, followed by a network television premiere of the movie Ricochet. Viewers on the West Coast will see these shows at their regularly scheduled time.
Dick, I do not see Natrone Means in the huddle. I see him on the sideline. San Diego to this point has gotten the ball inside the 10 with their passing set. But at this point, you got to think, look, we got 3 timeouts. We got 53 seconds. Each time we run the ball, we can stop the clock with a timeout.
They have 2 now. They've just used their first.
Excuse me, 2. They have not had success in this game trying to finesse Miami at this point. You would certainly hope that recent history is a good teacher and they try something else.
53 seconds remain. Weary eyes of 65-year-old Don Shuley. Had his birthday on Wednesday. Collecting Social Security.
This is the jumbo outfit here for San Diego.
3rd and 1.
Means is in there. 3 tight ends, H-backs. They got a whole bunch of meat up in front of him.
his acrobatic talent. That was a tough little move he made at the line of scrimmage as he goes to 140 yards for the day. A Charger record for playoffs is 25. That was his 24th. You said 25 carries for Means, and you thought San Diego would win. Well, they're right at the door.
I didn't figure that it would be quite like this, but my thinking was that if he carries the ball 25 times, he's got to be carrying it a lot in the second half and in the fourth quarter.
The score, 21-15 Miami. Miami led at the half, 21-6. 48 seconds, as you see, left. One timeout remaining for San Diego as they measure it to first down. And it's first and goal from the 8. 8 yards from a possible victory in the final minute. The frustration for Shula is he just hasn't gotten a chance to play fairly in the second half. He's not had the ball.
You're absolutely correct. The opening drive by San Diego, 15 plays, they don't score. The safety, the defense got worn out there. Marino hasn't broken a sweat in the second half.
And the worst thing, should San Diego score, is that they are chewing up time. So if Miami has to rally, they won't have too many ticks left. 48 seconds. San Diego has had the ball 39 minutes, Miami 20 minutes in this game. And yet the Dolphins lead.
This has been so exciting. He got Shula up out of his little cart there.
He's thinking about it. We get the ball. We got our timeouts now. Use them. Marino and Shula, they've been in this football marriage for 12 years. And what's been interesting,
Because of the measurement for the first down, San Diego will not be charged with a timeout. First down.
Wow. Well, first and goal and 2 timeouts left for the Chargers. What will the Chargers call here? 3 wides. Humphries wide open. Touchdown, Mark point after block play. This is the time. David Binn to snap. Gilbert to hold. Carney to give the Chargers the lead. (22-21). 35 seconds for Marino to get his team in field goal range.
Dick, a beautiful call here. You're going to see Seay come in motion, get lost, and come right up through the middle of the defense. He goes that way, comes back the other way, totally lost on the rollout. No one out there to cover Mark Seay. Finally, from inside the 10, they get it in the end zone.
And for Humphries, finally, a touchdown pass in the postseason.
Troy Vincent dropped the coverage.
8-yard play. Well, the beauty of all sports is how grown men can be little kids. And now it's Marino's chance. Miami has the chance. They have all 3 timeouts, 35 seconds, a lifetime for Marino.
He can't believe that as much as his team dominated in the first half, that they're now down by a point.
There's another gunslinger left in town. One would think that Carney will not take a chance on a long return, that this will be some form of a short, low kick. San Diego today with 467 total yards. Irving, Spikes, and O.J. McDuffie are the deep men. There's the low kick, and immediately out of bounds goes Ronnie Williams, the tight end, at the 38-yard line.
Oh, now look, you're going to start Marino at the 38?
With 32 seconds.
You're just doing him a favor.
Now, Stoyanovich, the field goal kicker for Miami, one of the best from long range. He's kicked one from 50 this year. And coming into this season, Stoyanovich has kicked 11 for 22 outside the 50. 11 for 22. So anything close to the 35-yard line of San Diego, and Miami's hopes are very much alive. Fryer incomplete. A late call that was not a completed pass, but obviously Fryer didn't have possession. You see the smoke from the cannon clouding Shula.
Marino did a good bit of running to get open. Whoa, wait a minute. He was down. I'm not sure I wouldn't call that a catch.
Yeah, there was a hesitation.
But it's ruled an incomplete pass. I can't remember a game where we've had more instances where I thought, gee, if somebody could take another look at that play.
Well, Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs agree with you. Marino trying to get Stoyanovich close. He's changing his play. Goes deep. Oh. Incomplete. The flag down. As Scott Miller, number 83, hit by Eric Castle. Pass incomplete. They'll mark this off unless they call that interference. If that's interference, the ball's at the 30-yard line already. Well, something burning down below us here.
It's no longer the cannon. I don't know if somebody's barbecuing early here, but I think that's a very good call. Castle was there before the ball was. This is an excellent call.
Pass interference. Defense. First down.
Well, they're already 47 yards from a field goal.
Contact. I don't think there's any question. That's an easy call.
32-yard penalty. Well, the officials certainly have been a big part of this game.
Yes, they have. Probably more than they want.
Right. No, I'm sure they'd be the first to say that. So Pete Stoyanovich knows he's going to get a chance to win it. You want to talk about pressure. They don't see much duty, but so often it's with all the hopes of a team and a city and all the fans on the line, and that's where Stoyanovich is going to be. If they kick it right now, it'd be about 47 yards.
Interesting thing about Stoyanovich at Miami, he practices on uprights that are 8 feet apart. The hash marks and the uprights are the same at 18.5 feet, so he only gives himself 8. Now this is the stuff that legends are made of. No matter how you get it done, Marino throws it down there.
Well, 32-yard penalty puts Miami in position to win. But Marino wants them closer.
Blitz.
Batted in the air, almost intercepted. Oh, Junior Seay had a beat on that one. Intended for Mike Williams. 12 seconds.
Here's Seay right here. He fakes the blitz. Look at the ground he covers here trying to make this interception. Can't quite get there.
Darian Gordon made the play. 12 seconds. This probably the last play, and it's a matter of where do you want to kick it from, Stoyanovich? Right hash mark or left hash mark? Although he's in shotgun, could be a handoff. Nope. He's going to go for it all. To Williams, incomplete. Boy, you got to hand it to Miami. So it's 6 seconds, and now's the time. Here comes Stoyanovich. With a timeout remaining for San Diego, one would guess that Ross will wait till they set up and then try to ice the kicker.
Snapper is Dellenbach. The holder is John Kidd.
And in the meantime, on the other sideline, one young man, Eric Castle, the 24-year-old defensive back from Oregon for San Diego, has to be rooting for someone to make a play, because his 32-yard penalty has given Miami this chance.
Kickers don't have friends until after the kick, and they either go away or you got lots of friends.
He's kicked them from 58 successfully and a 59-yarder in his 6-year career. And it all comes down to this. Stoyanovich makes. It's Miami at Pittsburgh next Sunday. And if he's denied, it's the Chargers going to the Steel City. The holder is Kidd. The ex-Charger. It'll be 48 yards. The San Diego team was picked by most all of the so-called experts last in the AFC West. They lost their top receiver to the Denver Broncos, Miller. They lost their top running back from a year ago, Butts. They traded him to New England. And Don Shula, his team so close to victory, and Stoyanovich often reliable from this range, unable to connect.
And remember, too, San Diego beat Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Pittsburgh was missing starters. Yeah, Pittsburgh was playing out here in the warm California sun, but it has to be a psychological pump for San Diego, knowing they already beat next week's opponent this year.
57-year-old Bobby Ross did not get a vote for Coach of the Year. Just a formality of a successful snap for the Chargers. And this town will celebrate the biggest win in a couple of decades.
Was there anything missing in this game, Dick?
And now they can cheer. The safety is the difference in victory, John.
It's unbelievable right now. It really is. You know, our defense came out the second half and held them to no points. Offensively, we were moving the ball in the first half. We just couldn't get it in the end zone. We were stopping ourselves. But I tell you what, it feels great right now. I'm just happy.
What was the difference in the second half?
We just made the plays when they were there. We were running the football, and we made some key fourth down passing plays that kept the chains moving.
Congratulations. What about Pittsburgh next week?
It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a real tough game, but I'll think about them tomorrow. I'm just happy right now.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
And so a season ends for one team. And for Dan Marino, was it the season where he finally get back with a chance at a Super Bowl ring? But the Chargers in the second half kept the ball away. But even at that, here's the snap that is high. Kidd gets it down. But Stoyanovich was wide right all the way.
Dick Dellenbach, the center, the snapper, normally very good. That is a rare mistake by the snapper. Kidd does a great job, but you're right, the distraction when Stoyanovich sees Kidd rise up, all of a sudden something's wrong.
He'll blame himself, but it's it's more complicated than that.
It's the snap.
So Don Shula denied a chance to go to the
AFC final with the hopes of playing the Super Bowl on his home turf. Joe Robbie and Dan Marino, brilliant the first half when he had a chance to play. 3 touchdown passes. But the Chargers wouldn't let him have the ball in the second half. And Stan Humphries, who has thrown only 1 touchdown in 2 playoff opportunities, gets the one that wins today. And Bobby Ross, one of he'll hide in the shadows, would be the last one to say, hey, I did a good job. And boy, will he enjoy that glass of soda pop tonight.